Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a very long night indeed, and it's about to get really good. Welcome to another edition of the Rangers Roundup and the Bulls Corner, right here exclusively on YouTube.com. My name is Michael Flecha. I am going to be your host alongside my partner in crime, Anthony Florio. Normally we and the Bulls Corner together, but tonight we actually got a very special guest with us. The Phenom and formerly a member of the Wrestling Forum and Strictly Sports, Michael Bullock, has decided to join us, and we're so glad to have him. And tonight we are going to get into both Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Quarterfinal series between the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins, and we'll also get into Game 2 of the NBA Eastern Conference Quarterfinal series between the Chicago Bulls and the Milwaukee Bucks, and we're going to do that all for you guys right here tonight on both. So we're going to start it off tonight as we have shifted the series now to Pittsburgh, and we are actually at the Xcel Energy Center in Pittsburgh tonight. The New York Rangers, the best team, the President's Trophy winners, going up against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And one thing that I know Anthony Florio was alluding to, he got a little nervous because of the fact that he said he had that bad pit in the stomach, especially after the way New York played in Game 2. But the one takeaway that I think a lot of people knew and they realized is that the New York Rangers was the best team or had a really good road record. So when they got out of Madison Square Garden and went on that road cooking, sometimes some good things have happened, and tonight was no case about it. The New York Rangers reclaims home ice advantage, stealing it away from the Pittsburgh Penguins, winning the game tonight at a final score of 2-1. Let's go right into the game as we always do. And it started out very early in the game, and here's the one thing that New York has always been known for: to get the early goals, to get an early advantage, and sure enough, it happened again. At, at 8:43 in the first period, it went from Dan Girardi to Keith Yandel to Carl Hagelin. Oh, yes, indeed. You know what that means. It was a goal for the New York Rangers. A right at the point blank spot puts it right between Marc-Andre Fleury. Fleury could not handle the puck. It was a hot shot. It's 1-0 New York. Uh, well, let's just say it. It was definitely a great start for the Broadway Blue Shirts as they absolutely good. And I gotta say, it definitely was something to desire. We would say in that goal. So at the end of the first, the Rangers had the 1-0 lead. And Anthony, why don't you break down the stats for us in the first period?
Michael Fletcher, with all due respect, I do want to ask that we do something different here on the roundup. And that is, I really don't want to do period by period breakdowns. I know that's how you want to do it, but to me, I don't really like the period by period breakdown, to be
Okay.
honest with you.
Okay.
I just say we just talk about the game as a whole, because that
Okay.
way, I mean, especially since, I mean, yeah, I know we don't have work commitments or anything right now, but the thing is, when it comes to these, you know,
All right.
it
So
saves time, and we can get through these things that
okay,
much
fair enough.
quicker, which leaves us a
Fair
lot of
enough.
time. So
Okay,
so
fair enough.
yeah, I mean,
So
I know how much you love your period by period breakdown, but to me, I think that's a little on the boring side. I like to talk about things as a whole, not just one at
okay.
a time. So
All right.
okay.
Okay. So let's just dive right into the second period. Sure enough, basically, basically once we get into the second period, well, let's just say it like this: the Rangers were at it again. Again, Girardi to Stahl to Kreider. He lights the lamp. I wish I could do the siren again, but I'm pretty low on my battery here, so I'm gonna let that be. It gives the New York Rangers a 2-0 lead going into the third period. It looks like every Pittsburgh, they outshot them at the point. At this point, they were 19-11 on the outshots, and they were definitely looking good. Third period, oh boy, Pittsburgh came back. Cole to Crosby to Hornquist. He gets a goal at 13-12. It looks like here we go. It looks like Pittsburgh maybe getting a little bit of some life in the third period, but at the end of the game, the New York Rangers were able to hold it off. Henrik Lundqvist, what a night he had again. Henrik Lundqvist walks away the winner of the winner of the game, as he actually stopped 20. He actually stopped 23 of 24 shots, had 23 saves in the game, and the New York Rangers actually takes the 2-1 series lead from the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Rangers, like I said, the Rangers had 7 shots in the first period, 12 shots in the second period, and 7 shots in the third, 26 in all. And once again, the discipline of the Rangers definitely showed. Well, they weren't as disciplined as they were in the last game, only committing 4 penalties for 8 minutes. But once again, the Penguins with their penalties becoming their Achilles heel again. 5 penalties for 10 minutes, only getting 24 shots. But like I said, the bulk of the shooting was in the third period, where they outshot the Rangers 14-7 in the third period, only mustering the one goal, only getting it by the King, Henrik Lundqvist. And at the end of the day, the New York Rangers wrestled home ice advantage back from the Pittsburgh Penguins, and now they lead the series 2-1. And all right, Anthony, let's do the full game recap. It's all yours.
All right. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Michael Flecha, Super Viper. Hello. It's once again ridiculously over Anthony Florio here for this this edition of the Rangers Roundup and the Bulls Corner. Delighted to be here as always. I'm extra delighted to be here because I mean it's an all around great night. I mean it's an all around night for us because I mean double indemnity, but in a good way. As we're celebrating, we're talking about double wins here tonight. Definitely looking forward to this. So. But before I begin, let me just say it like this. Saturday night, as you know, we did a special edition of Strictly Sports. You know, myself and Michael Flecha, we ran the show. Michael Bullock was out, having fun as always. And Derek Ferreira had, commitments outside of YouTube, mainly his sports blog. But on that show, I said, I think you're going to recall me saying this. Didn't I say the New York Rangers were coming to play in Game 3 of this series? I said they were coming to play, did I not?
You did.
And what happened? Did they come to play tonight? Did they
Or
come
at least for 2 of the 3 periods they came to play. I don't know what the hell I saw in the third period. That was not Ranger hockey at all.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I mean, Pittsburgh definitely came out the aggressive there. But let me just break it down like this. Carl Hagelin puts us on the board in the first with the goal. Keith Yandel, Dan Girardi with the assists. 1-0 New York at 8:43 of the first, and then in the second it was Chris Kreider with the winner from Mark Stahl and Danny Girardi again. Danny Girardi with 2 assists tonight, and that apparently was good enough for him to earn the coveted Broadway hat tonight. I know how much Michael Flecha loves the Broadway hat tradition, so tonight it's Danny Girardi who gets it. And as you all remember, in Game 1 it was Ryan McDonough, the captain, who got it. But this time around it was Danny Girardi who got it with the 2 assists. You could have made an argument for Kreider with the goal. You could have made an argument for Hagelin. Of course, Henrik Lundqvist. Come on now. Best in the world. 23 saves on 24 shots. And, and Pittsburgh gets on the board at 13-12 of the third. Patrick Hornquist from Sidney Crosby and Ian Cole made it 2-1. And, yep, Pittsburgh. Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, Pittsburgh had another high penalty game, 5 more penalties tonight. Rangers committing 4 penalties. So, yeah, definitely, New York has definitely been, starting to get up there on the penalty count, which is not a good thing because stupid penalties can kill you. And shots on goal, Rangers out shooting Pittsburgh once again, 26-24 overall. Each team had 2 power plays. Both teams did not convert. Pittsburgh had 10 penalty minutes, the Rangers 8. Penguins won the face-off battle 33-28, which in tune a percentage of 54-46. The hits 43-37 in favor of Pittsburgh. Block shots 17-14 in favor of the New York Rangers. And first 2 periods, New York Rangers came to play, and I told you they were going to. I mean, after that, performance in Game 2 on Saturday in the Garden, when Pittsburgh came in there and stole that game 4-3, mainly because of Sidney Crosby. But Crosby got an assist tonight, so yeah, I'm glad the New York Rangers definitely shut him down. They also shut down, Evgeny Malkin. He's been non-existent. That's a good thing as well if you're a Ranger fan. Definitely glad about that too. And a couple of more unsung heroes. Here's the thing though. When it comes to the New York Rangers, when these two met last year, the Rangers, 3 of the 4 wins were in Pittsburgh. Let's keep that in mind. They've kind of made themselves at home at Consol Energy Center. Winning games 1, 5, and 7 in Pittsburgh a year ago. The only home win, of course, that came in Game 6 in the Garden on Mother's Day when Marty St. Louis, scored that goal, for his late mother, and that pretty much, set the tone. But when it ended up being the most magical run as a Ranger fan I can remember, that will be hopefully until this year. Hopefully it'll be just as magical, if not more. And then, of course, the 2 Penguin killers, the 2 Derricks, Brassard and Stepan, they got kept off the score sheet tonight, so definitely give credit to the Pittsburgh Penguins for that. They kept Crosby, they held Crosby to an assist tonight, which that's a good thing too. And I'm glad they have done a great job on Evgeny Malkin. Malkin has done nothing in this series, and I am very happy about that. Being the Ranger fan here. Lundqvist, got a couple 23 saves on 24 shots. Another low count on shots. Pittsburgh only had 3 shots in the first, 8 in the second. They had 11 through 2, but in that third period, though, 13 shots on goal. And it got really hot and heavy towards the very end. They pulled Marc-Andre Fleury for an extra attacker, and then in the immortal words of Fletch, a major scrum, if you will, a major scrum towards the very end. Pittsburgh hot and heavy there, but then they got. The time expired. The Rangers held on for the win, and then all of a sudden, look out! It was time to play the feud, and it just goes to show you, folks, that these 2 teams plain don't like each other. Never have. They never will. And like true Metropolitan Division rivals, and New York Rangers get the win tonight, take back the home field advantage. As I look at the stat sheet tonight, of course, Henrik Lundqvist, his body of work speaks for itself. Hagelin, nice to see him getting involved. Kreider as well. Stahl played good tonight. Yandel, always good. But to me, as great as all these guys played tonight, I thought the star of the game tonight, you got to give it up for Danny Girardi, man. Danny Girardi was definitely our star tonight with the 2 assists. And he also had the most ice time. He was on the ice longer than any Ranger tonight, 26 minutes and 6 seconds. He was out there longer than any Ranger. And the second one was the captain, Ryan McDonough, 24-46. And then 21-39, that was Mark Stahl. And like I said, Stahl played well tonight. And but Brassard, Brassard had won 65% of the faceoffs. Stepan had 55%. Dominic Moore, 35%. Kevin Hayes, 36% of the faceoffs there. So, I thought they all played very well tonight. And not only this, but Girardi, 2 assists, 2 shots on goal, 6 block shots, and 4 hits. Yeah, he had a giveaway, but who cares? And he did all that in 34 shifts tonight. So Danny Girardi, to me, was the star of the game tonight. No question about it. He played his he picked a great night to come out and play his best hockey, and I'm glad that he stepped up
And
instead of the
well
usual
deserved,
suspects.
and
Huh?
well deserved of the Broadway hat. Well
Yes.
deserved of the Broadway hat.
Yeah. Normally it's Henrik Lundqvist or Stepan or Brassard or whatever, Ricky Nash, but and yes, Nash off the score sheet. What else is new? But he needs to get going. That's definitely something that he needs to do. I'd like to see Zuccarello get involved. Zook, I'd like to see him get something going. San Luis, kind of want to see him get on that score sheet too. And yeah, but like I said, Danny Girardi was far and away the best player on the ice tonight for the New York Rangers. There's no question about it with the 2 assists and everything he did in his 26 minutes of ice time and 34 shifts. Hags getting the goal there. I'm glad to see that. Kreider, getting a goal as well, and Mark Stahl getting an assist, and Yandel, who's continued to do some great things since coming over from Arizona. So yeah. Now as far as Pittsburgh, Cole continues has Cole's been doing some good things. Hornqvist, I thought Hornqvist played a great game tonight, no question about it, and Crosby, another solid game from him as well. Um, But the thing is now, I mean, yeah, Crosby's starting to finally find his groove, but Malkin, Malkin, he definitely has to get going as well. I mean, this team is not the same team that that we've seen that we've been so used to seeing over the years, and losing Chris Letang, you definitely that's definitely not going to help matters. I mean, if Letang was in there, then we'd be talking a more competitive series, but no, man. When it comes to who was the best player for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight, to me, I have to say it was Patrick Hornqvist. I thought Patrick Hornqvist was, to me, far and away the best player on the ice for the Pittsburgh Penguins on this night. Cole had a good game too, Crosby as well. But other than that, I mean, all the other Penguins I thought were rather average and mediocre tonight, to be honest. And yeah, and like I said, I mean, everybody's got to step up as well. But to me, the one guy who really needs to step up more than anybody for the Pittsburgh Penguins right now, Evgeny Malkin. Remember that. Make a note of that. Um, but other than that, Fleury played I mean, Fleury was fine. Fleury had a fine night on the goalie side, but he just allowed those 2 goals. That was it. Lundqvist just by a smidge outplayed him, and yeah. So like I said, I mean, the first 2 periods, all New York Rangers, they came to play tonight. I'm very pleased with the outcome, even though that third period, Pittsburgh definitely dominated that third period, but it was not enough as the Rangers held on for the 2-1 win. Now lead the series 2-1, Game 4 Wednesday night, back at Consol Energy Center. Rangers taking back the home ice advantage that the Penguins stole from them on Saturday in Game 2. And then, of course, we all know Game 5 back at Madison Square Garden on Friday night. So, yeah, so I'm very pleased with the outcome. I'm glad the Rangers won tonight, and like I said, that third period they could have played better, but the notes, the clear notes that I take, I mean, as great as Lundqvist is, and as happy as I am to see Kreider and Hagelin score tonight, they could not have gotten the Broadway hat choice any more righter. Danny Girardi, far and away the best player on the ice tonight for the New York Rangers, and he was the main reason why they won this game tonight. So, bravo to Danny Girardi. Keep it up, my friend. And if you keep that up, bigger and better things are going to come. And remember, keep the faith, my friends. If we book them, they will come. 2 down, 14 to go. So with that said, Fletch, do I just throw it to Michael Bullock now, or what do you want me to do here?
Yeah, let's get Mike Bullock in here. Mike, you talk about the game yourself. What did you feel about the game tonight?
All right. Thank you very much, Fletch. Of course, hello, friends. This is the Phenom, Mike Bullock, here for the Rangers roundup and the Bulls corner. So, yeah, as far as this game goes, yeah, I mean, I thought this was a pretty good game here, to say the very least. Yeah, and of course, the first 2 periods were basically dominated by the New York Rangers, of course. Starting off that first period, the goal by Carl Hagelin, assisted by Yandel and Dan Girardi at about 8:43 of the first period to take that 1-0 lead. And then Corey Kreider with the goal in the second period to assisted by Stahl and once again Dan Girardi, who comes up in the assist rate to make it 2-0 at about 11:07 of the second period. And then basically, then of course, the third period, of course, was dominated by Pittsburgh when Hornqvist got the goal to make it 2-1 at about 13:12 of the third period, assisted by Sidney Crosby and Cole. Yeah, I mean, we were thinking that maybe Pittsburgh was going to come back and maybe steal one from New York, but New York manages to hold on, and yeah, and some of the rest of the, I mean, we had about as far as for penalties from both sides, of course, the penalties came mostly from Pittsburgh. Of course, got a total of about 12 minutes in penalties, while only 8 minutes in penalties for the New York Rangers. And as I ring up the rest of the stats, the Rangers outshotted the Pittsburgh Penguins 26-24. The Penguins, however, they outhitted the Rangers 43-37. The Penguins had more giveaways than the New York Rangers. The takeaways of course, are even. The Penguins basically won more faceoffs, 33-28. Yeah, and as far as the Rangers, a total of 2 goals and of course 3 assists, and of course a total of basically for the Pittsburgh Penguins, of course, they had only 1 assist in the game, and of course, and as far as for MVPs for both sides, well, for the Rangers, their MVP, you got to give it to Dan Girardi on this night with 2 assists and 2 shots on goal, and about 1 on the plus minus side. And then of course, I think you definitely got to give the MVP to Cole on this night. He did have an assist, a -1 and 2 shots on goal, and so nice win for the New York Rangers. They get the home ice advantage back with Game 4 scheduled for Wednesday night, and now we know the series is going back to MSG. So, can the President's Trophy winning New York Rangers try to take a 3-1 lead in the series? We'll have to wait and find out. So, so with that being said, Flecha, let's move on.
Alright guys, and we're going to actually move on to the Bulls corner time. So, with Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Quarterfinals, it was the Chicago Bulls going up against the Milwaukee Bucks at the United Center in Chicago, and the Chicago Bulls takes a 2-0 lead as they won tonight by the final score of 91-82. And this game had everything. We're going to just go quarter by quarter. Well, I'm going to go quarter by quarter, and then we're going to talk overall. In the first quarter alone, let's just say it was no offense at all. Defense ruled the roost on this one. Milwaukee only had a 16-11 lead in the first quarter alone. Basically, I mean, neither team could really get off the ground in this game, where basically Milwaukee only shot an abysmal 25%. Chicago did not do any better. They only shot 23.8%. Basically, they were 1 and 8 from the 3-point range, where Milwaukee was only 2 for 7 in the 3-point range. Basically, rebounding wise, Chicago had more rebounds, 21-15, and they were more active on the offensive glass by only a mere margin of 6 to 3. 7 turnovers by Chicago to 1 by Milwaukee. Definitely a bad first quarter, to say the very least. And then in the second quarter, well, let's just say tempers flew, without a doubt. Basically, a little brouhaha broke out. Basically, what happened was Aaron Brooks got taken out on the play, got an offensive foul. Basically, the Bulls took a little umbrage on that, and there was some pushing and shoving that happened right behind that. So what happened? Well, technical fouls were handed out. Hansen and OJ Mayo got slapped with technicals for Milwaukee. Jimmy Butler and Joakim Noah both got slapped with technicals as well. But at the end of the second quarter, basically, the Bulls got red hot, shooting 58% for the second quarter. They shot 58% for the second quarter, 50% from 3-point range. They were 3 of 6, had 5 of 7 from the free throws, to say the very least, as Milwaukee only shot 44%. And going into halftime, the Chicago Bulls had a 39-38 lead going into the second half. Basically, just to give you some halftime stats, Chris Middleton for Milwaukee had 13 points. He was the high man. Jimmy Butler was the high man for Chicago with 10 points, and Derrick Rose was non-existent after he had a tremendous first game one. He was over 7 field, over 3 from the charity stripe from the 3-point range. He was non-existent. He was nowhere to be found in at the end of the first half. In the first half, well, in the third quarter, Derrick Rose went off. He was looking the MVP of old. He had 12 points in the quarter. He was 3 of 5 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3 range, 4 of 4 shooting, 12 points in all. And the team and Chicago as a team shot 47% to 52% by Milwaukee. Milwaukee actually was the team shooting. However, Chicago did win that battle 32 to 30, and going in the fourth quarter, it was basically anybody's game. Well, it basically at the end of 3 quarters, it was a 71-68 Chicago lead. Uh, Once again, Jimmy Butler was the high man with 17 points. Mike Dunleavy had 12 points. Pau Gasol 11. Derrick Rose, like I said, absolutely went bonkers in the third quarter, and he had a 12-point night. Middleton was the high man for Milwaukee with 20. Michael Carter Williams had 10 points going into the fourth. And in the fourth quarter, guys, let's just say it was Jimmy But it became the Jimmy Butler show in the fourth quarter. He scored 14 points in the fourth quarter that ignited the entire second half. He had 21 in the second half, en route to a 31-point night, and that's what gave the Chicago Bulls, as they won the fourth quarter by the final score. They won the fourth quarter 2015. Sasa Pachulia got 2 technical fouls. He got the heave ho. He got the game. Marco Nico Mirotic got a stupid technical foul as well. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him. And at the end of the day, the Chicago Bulls wins the game. They take the 2 games to 1 series lead, and just the overall stats, just for the game itself, well, there's really nothing to say about it. Chicago absolutely played a tremendous game, shooting 38%. They were right 3-point line. They were 12 of 33. They got to stop taking threes because they're not. Because it's like feast or famine. It's like if they hit the threes, that's great, but they're taking too many 3-pointers. They got to work on their free throw shooting as well. They were only 17 of 27 for 63%. Uh, the one thing that really saved Chicago was that Milwaukee was no better behind the 3-point mark. They were 4 of 7, an abysmal 23%. They also had 35. They shot 35% from the field. Chicago 38% from the field. The rebounding was really a difference for Chicago, as they actually had 64 rebounds to 48, and rebounded to 39. Offense rebounds was 14 to 9 advantage Chicago there. The turnover battle, Chicago, a lot of turnovers tonight. They gotta clean that up. 15 turnovers to 4 by Milwaukee. But the 15 turnovers resulted in 15 points off those turnovers, where Milwaukee only got 7 points out of the 15 turnovers that was committed by Chicago. So definitely the stats of the game was really the standout. Uh, Jimmy, the MVP tonight for Chicago, 31 points, 10 to 19 shooting, 9 from 3-point range. He also had 9 rebounds and 14 um, 9 rebounds. Joakim Noah, actually, Pau Gasol had a double double tonight. 16 rebounds, 7 points. Mike Dunleavy had 12 points, and he was 4 of 9 from 3-point range, and that was one of the reasons why he was so good. Butler was 3 of 9 from 3-point range. Derrick Rose, not a good shooting night. 4 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3-point range, but he was a sharp shooter when it came to throws. Hit all his free throws, 5 of 5 field, had 9 assists, 7 rebounds. For Milwaukee, the high man was Chris Middleton. He was 8 of 20, 3 of 7 from 3-point range, 22 points in all. Like 12 points as well. John Henson had 8 points, and basically, other than Williams and other than Carter Williams and Middleton, really the Milwaukee Bucks were all pretty much in single digits, where you had 4 players for Chicago in double figures. That's why Chicago got the 2 games to 1 series lead. Now the scene shifts to Milwaukee. Uh, Basically, Thursday night is Game 3. So with that said, Florio two and the Chicago Bulls.
Yes, tale of two halves indeed. I mean, I thought Milwaukee definitely dominated the first half to me, and then the second half, Chicago definitely turned it up a notch. And Jimmy Butler, who continues to be, the godsend for this team. I mean, unbelievable night for him for 31. Definitely helped the cause tonight. I mean, he was the one who had to carry the load when Derrick Rose was, battling his injuries, and he did it tonight. 31 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and here's the key stat here: the rebounding edge. I mean, the Bulls as a team tonight had 64 rebounds. Milwaukee, 48. That's huge. And Milwaukee only shot 35% from the field, and Chicago shooting 38. Although the shooting was definitely there's some left to be desired there, but nonetheless, 3-point shooting, that was all Chicago, 36% to only 23.5% from Milwaukee. Free throw edge, that actually went to Milwaukee, 82 to 63%. That's a killer there, but Butler's 31 helped the cause. D Rose 15 and 9 assists. The 2 big rebounders, Joakim Noah had 19 boards to go with 6 points, and Pau Gasol 11 points and 16 rebounds for him. And I'm not at all surprised that Rose led with the assists. Noah and Gasol were the the rebounders, no doubt about it. And Dunleavy, I thought had a great night from the 3-point line. I thought I saw one of his 4 threes as I was flipping between that and Monday Night Raw tonight. Very busy night to say the very least. I mean, with the Monday Night Raw, the Bulls and the Rangers all in action on the same night, definitely makes things a little tough. But thankfully we have a night off for tomorrow, and then Wednesday night, of course, we get back at it with the Ranger Roundup, and then Thursday, of course, and it's just the Ranger Roundup on Wednesday night, by the way. Seeing that Game 3 of this series is now not until Thursday night, as the scene now shifts to the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, and that game will be at 8 o'clock on Thursday night. That will be on the NBA TV, and then Game 4 will be on Saturday, start time of 5:30, and that game will be seen on TNT. So those are at least the next 2 games. I mean, it's a 2-0 lead. I'm only mentioning the next 2 games. I'm not going to mention when Game 5 or any of those other games are going to be until Milwaukee gets a game. But I'll tell you what. I mean, Milwaukee definitely played better tonight, even though there was definitely a lot of noggin diva, Dinkelberging going on tonight, especially Zaza Pachulia. Well-deserved ejection. I mean, he definitely played very dirty tonight, to say the very least, and I'm hoping that the league looks into his dirty play tonight. Noah got caught for a technical. I mean, Noah got a technical. O.J. Mayo got a technical. Nikola Mirotic got a technical. Even Jimmy Butler got a technical. And John Henson. John Henson definitely instigated a moment tonight, which I thought came off very thuggish, if I'm being honest with you. And yeah, I mean, you thought the Rangers and the Penguins were, going at it like the freaking Hatfields and the McCoys. I mean, these 2 teams were going at it like the Hatfields and the McCoys as well. I mean, this is, as I said about the Rangers and the Penguins, Metropolitan Division rivals going at it. These 2, of course, bitter Central Division rivals, for so many years now. And yeah, they definitely showed that they don't like each other tonight, no doubt about that. So, yeah, very pleased with the win tonight. I mean, even though I thought Milwaukee should have won tonight, but Chicago, got some breaks down the stretch and definitely got the win tonight. I'm very pleased with that. So it's a 2-0 lead. So banner night. I mean, Rangers win, Bulls win. Wish the Raw could have been better, but it is what it is. But hey, we'll take a Ranger and a Bull win on the same night any given day of the week. No doubt about that. So I'll say it like this: Milwaukee definitely needs to play on Thursday night. They got to come to play on Thursday night, because if they lose again, then this is going to be an open and shut series. So they definitely have to show up in game 3. Middleton, Middleton was once again the star of the game tonight, and Carter Williams, the Syracuse product, he played well tonight as well. And Antetokounmpo had an okay game as well, but everybody else, Henson's got to get better, Mayo's got to get better, and yeah, it can't be all about Middleton, Carter Williams, and Antetokounmpo. The bench players have to step up as well, because if they don't, like I said, it's going to be an open and shut series. So I thought Milwaukee had a chance to win this game. I kind of think they should have, but Chicago definitely took advantage of some breaks down the stretch, and Jimmy Butler continues to be a future star in the making, and really loving his body of work. And D Rose, he may not have been as sharp as he was in game 1, but I thought he had a solid enough game to get us the win, and I'm very pleased with it. So now let's see what happens at the Bradley Center Thursday. So nothing left for me to say here. Pleased with the win. Pleased with the outcome. 2-0. Halfway home to a first round series win. So with that said, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on Michael Bullock, for the first time, I say this: welcome to Bulls Corner, my friend. Have at it.
Hey, glad to be part of the Bulls Corner. Even though, of course, my team, the Celtics, are in the playoffs, but hey, happy to be part of the Bulls Corner. So, yeah, once again, another win by the Chicago Bulls after what they did in Game 1. Yeah, that first quarter was pretty sloppy and ugly, if I'm going to be quite honest. I mean, Milwaukee outscored Chicago 16-11. got better in the second quarter. Chicago really took that one, outscoring the Bucks 28-22. And at halftime, it was Chicago led by a score of 39-38. Yeah, and then that third quarter was, of course, Chicago outscoring the Bucks 32-30, and then basically the Bulls once again outscored them in the fourth quarter 20-14. Yeah, and basically it was the Jimmy Butler show tonight for the Chicago Bulls. He led the way with 31 points, 9 rebounds, 10 of 19 from the field, 3 of 9 from three-point range. Derrick Rose, 15 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, a double-double for Pau Gasol, 11 points and 16 rebounds, 12 points for Mike Dunleavy. Oops. Yeah, I did lose it there for a minute, so sorry about that. Yeah, and of course, for the Bucks, Middleton led the way with 22 points. Michael Carter Williams had 12, and Ilyasova had 8 points. Yeah, and the bench played all right, but yeah, everybody else on the Bucks, they really need to get better. I mean, Carter Williams has got to play better. Antetokounmpo, yeah, it's got to play better. Ilyasova's got to play better. Pachulia, yeah, little Naga Diva moment there. Yeah, glad he got ejected. Yeah, here's some of the. Yeah, and of course, yeah, and basically, Chicago did better on the field goal percentage, and of course Chicago also dominated in the 3-point field goals made. He also did well in the going to the free throw line, going 27 times, making 17 of 27. Chicago dominated in the rebounds possession, 64-48, and had 14 of those 64 came on the offensive side. Chicago led the way in assists, 26-13. Milwaukee did better on the defensive side, of course, with 10 steals to Chicago's 2. Chicago had more blocks than Milwaukee, 10-9. The turnovers were the big story. I mean, Milwaukee only turned the ball over 4 times, while Chicago turned it over 13 times. And normally, when you think that, you would think the other team would win, but Chicago won despite turning the ball over 13 times, and that's something that they definitely need to clean up for Game 3. Yeah, Milwaukee had more fast break points, 6-2, and yeah, and Milwaukee had more fouls, 22-19. So yeah, things were a little chippy in this one, but somehow Chicago managed to come out of it with another win, lead the series now 2-0. Game 3 not till Thursday night, and now that it's that's going to be on the road. The only question now is, can the Chicago Bulls take a stranglehold in this series? We'll have to find out come Thursday night. So that being said, I give it to you, Fletch.
And most importantly, Michael Bullock, you even said it. Chicago has a 2-game, and normally when this happens, very rarely has a team ever come back from 0-2 down to win a series. It's been done. It's possible. But the thing is that it looks like Chicago's just clicking on all cylinders right now. That I think a few people have been saying that if Derrick Rose is healthy and back in his old form, and if all the Bulls are together, who knows? This could be a deep run in the playoffs. But remember, If Chicago doesn't get out of the series, they might run into the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then to see what Chicago's really made of, because this team was built for one thing, and that was to beat Cleveland and possibly become not only an Eastern Conference final representative, but to win the NBA championship. So the ultimate test might be in the next round, because they might possibility run in the Cavaliers, and if that does, then batten down the hatches. We're gonna have seven. You thought this series with the Milwaukee Bucks would be nuts. The one with the Cavaliers is going to be just flat out, all war. So we'll wait and see what happens then. Programming note, just to give you guys a heads up. Alright, so Wednesday night, we're going to come back and we're going to do this again. It's going to be the Bulls Corner in Rangers Roundup on Wednesday night. Myself and Anthony Florio will do that, and that will be right here 95. We will do that immediately following the game. So that could be about 10:30ish, maybe 11. We don't know just yet. But when the game goes final, we will have the Rangers roundup. I'm thinking 10:30, Anthony. Just to give you the head on that. Then on Thursday night, because the game's, I believe, at 8 o'clock, the game ends around 10:30, so maybe 10:30, 11. We'll let you know then. Will be the Bulls corner. However, it's not going to be on Race Fan 95. It's going to be on the 25. Okay, so the game starts at 7. So like I said, 10:30. We'll give you guys the heads up. We'll give you guys the head up. We will more than likely give you a notice. So keep your eyes peeled on it, guys, because we will keep you posted. More or less what's gonna happen. It looks like it's gonna be 10 o'clock. Like I said, 10 to 10:30. We don't know just yet. Anything can happen. All we know is if the game ends in regulation, we'll do it at 10 o'clock. So we'll wait and see what happens. So just say it like this: after the Rangers game goes final, keep your eyes peeled. We might have an announcement soon enough. So just to give you guys the heads up, we don't have anything uh, set in stone. So keep posted on that again. And of course, on Thursday night, we'll keep you posted on the Bulls Corner. However, I can confirm it will not be on Braves Fan 95. It will be on the Tone 25. We will have that corner. Anthony Florio will be hosting it. I will be on the tail end of that, but we will be together for that show on Thursday night. So with that said, for Anthony Florio, our special guest Michael Bullock, thank you so much for being with us, Mike, and we hope to have you on the show very soon. I'm Michael Flecha. You know the routine, everybody. Hugs and hand pounds. We out, and have a good night, everybody. You've been watching a special edition of the Rays Corner and the Rangers Roundup right here exclusively on YouTube.com. Bye bye for now.